Hello, operator. Can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Ghoulie Show.
In the dream, you are falling, lost in the listening distance, as dark locks in. Nightfall. Good evening. Childhood memories for most of us are often the very best of all. But for some of us, they contain the key to who we are now. The key that unlocks the door to rooms we may never wish to visit again. Tonight's story, from the far-from-nostalgic pen of Arthur Samuels, is called Child's Play.
Mary? You haven't said a word the whole trip. You still won't tell me what's bothering you.
You know what's bothering me.
Okay. I was hoping it'd wear off, that you'd come around to my point of view.
And what about mine?
Honey, it just doesn't make sense. Well, look, here we are, with a genuine, once-in-a-lifetime windfall right in our laps, and you... Are you sure we're on the right road? You said 5 miles from the turnpike.
It's the right road. Don't you think I'd know? Take a left after that bridge. We're almost there.
Wow, I don't believe it. This house is fantastic. And much bigger than you said. Must be, what, 10, 12 rooms?
I don't remember.
Sitting on 30 acres. It's unbelievable. I'm going to take a look around.
Arthur? And then what are you going to do?
Mary, dear, you must do as your father tells you. He knows what's good for you.
But why can't I play with the other kids around here? They're nice.
Nice, you say? The spawn of the devil, just like their parents, lazy, corrupt, evil in thought and in deed. I will not have my daughter contaminated by them.
Daddy!
Your father is right, dear. Those children haven't had your upbringing. They're godless heathen.
That's not fair. My teacher at school says it's wrong to say bad things about people, to judge them without even knowing
At
them.
school. They're trying to corrupt her, too. Well, I won't have it, do you hear? I want Mary out of that den of iniquity immediately.
Mother?
But Dennis, her education.
Look at these books. Do you know what they mean? Comparative religions. Darwin. Biology of the human body. This isn't education, it's blasphemy.
But, Daddy...
The tools of Satan. No, I've made up my mind. You will not spend another day in that school. We'll attend to your education, and better than they.
But how? Where, Dennis?
Here. Here in this house where she'll be protected. Away from that school and away from those children. Here she'll be safe. Safe.
I don't believe it. You weren't allowed to play with other kids, not even allowed to go to school. What kind of religious nuts were they?
They meant well. They knew what was good for me.
Yeah. Now, I'm beginning to understand. I'm sorry, honey. I had no idea.
Arthur, please, let's leave. We can find another place.
What with? We're broke. And your father's will stipulated that you inherit the house only if you marry, and only if you live in it. Otherwise, it goes to your aunt. Wouldn't that be stupid?
I don't care.
Well, I do. Mary, it's crazy to give up a place like this just because of what happened in the past. It's a new life for us.
I couldn't ever be happy here.
You could at least try. Yes, try, and maybe you ought to start by thinking of someone else besides yourself. Mary, what is it?
Listen.
Listen to what?
Voices outside. Children.
I don't hear a thing. Wait a minute, though. I'll see if I can see something. No one. Not a soul. Anyway, what would children be doing out here? You must have been imagining.
I was so sure. Shh. There, again. Can't you hear them?
No. Hey, you putting me on or what?
They're gone. I don't understand. I was so sure I heard...
Forget it, honey. You're just worn out. It's been a tough day for you. Come on. Let's go to bed.
No. No, Arthur. No, it's no good. Please, I can't. Please.
All right. Forget it.
I'm sorry. You're angry with me.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, I guess. I mean, it's like going back to square one.
You mean my breakdown, don't you?
Honey.
Well, say it. 2 whole years when you had a wife who was useless in bed.
And we agreed not to talk about it. Come on, take it easy. Mary? Is that the room where your parents... where it happened?
Yes. That's where it happened. My room.
Dennis, I'm sure I heard someone say something.
Oh, nonsense. Your nerves again, Martha. Waking me up for nothing.
I'm so sure I heard
Well, you said it came from Mary's room. Well, here we are. There she is, sound asleep. I'm going back to bed.
Dennis.
Huh?
Dennis.
What is it now?
Behind you. Look out.
Huh?
Oh, no. Oh, no. In God's name, please. Not me. Oh, don't.
As coroner, it is my judgment that both the deceased, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, died as a result of multiple knife wounds at the hand of a person or persons unknown, and that the matter now be handed to the county police for investigation.
Here, one more nail ought to do it. There. How does that look, child bride?
Great. You're a genius.
Genius, sure. But a carpenter? I never thought I had it in me. Hey, look at that veranda floor. Flat and solid. And the railing straight as... Mary? Honey, what is it?
Nothing. I thought I heard...
I hear it, too.
What?
The wind and the poplars. Great sound. Great place, great life. Honey, you know what we've got here? A paradise.
I keep hearing them. Children.
Forget it. Come over here. Now, look around you. Green forest for miles. And there's a fantastic little trout stream just a few hundred yards in. And over there, see, That abandoned farmer's field lined with poplar as far as the eye can see. And this house, when I finish with it, it'll last another 100 years. And to have all this to ourselves, it's almost immoral. Hey, have you been listening to me? Come on, here I am, waxing poetic, and you... You okay?
Yes. I'm fine. Just a little restless. It'll pass.
Well, that was a good day's work, 2 whole chapters. Mary, you keep staring out the window as though you were expecting someone. Another lover, maybe?
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Arthur. What were you saying?
I said I finished another 2 chapters of the novel. I'll tell you, this one's going to make it and big. I feel it in my bones. Well?
Well, what?
Well, I could stand a little enthusiasm. How come you haven't asked to read any of it? You always used to. Or are you afraid it'll be another one of those, Well, Arthur, it's good, only don't you think it's a little weak here and here and here?
You never listen to my opinions anyway.
That's not true. Well, anyway, this time I'd like you to. You're doing it again. What are you staring at out there?
Nothing. I'm just listening. To the children.
What children? Are you on that kick again? Mary, how many times do you...
Don't you hear them out there?
No, I don't. Wait a minute. I do hear something. What the hell's going on out there? I'll take a look out the window. Well, too dark. I can't see a thing.
But you hear them, don't you?
I hear something, but... Children? How could there possibly be...
Arthur.
Stay there. You never know who it might be this time of night. Maybe someone lost, looking for directions. I don't see any... Hey! Who's out there? It's a little girl. What are you doing out here this time of night?
Can Mary come out to play?
What are you talking about? What do you want?
Can Mary come out to play?
Arthur.
Mary, don't come near the door. Stay where you are, do you hear? All right, little girl, you're playing a joke. Is that it?
Mary! Can Mary come out to play?
No, she can't. What do you mean coming here this time of night? It's almost midnight. Do your parents know where you... Go away. Go home, do you hear me? Leave us alone. Mary, stay away from that window.
But
Do what I say! I don't believe it. Where the hell did that child come from and the others?
The neighborhood.
What neighborhood? There hasn't been a neighborhood here since that thing with your parents. You told me, didn't you? You told me everybody around here sold and moved out, and there's been nobody since.
Yes.
Then why do you talk about the neighborhood as though it still exists? As though those children exist. I'm going to call the police.
But Arthur...
Listen, this thing's just too weird to ignore. There's got to be some explanation.
Weston County Police, Sergeant Doherty.
Sergeant, this is Arthur Hager. My wife and I are at the Hammond house. It's out near the...
Oh, well, yeah, I know the place, Mr. Hager. Your wife, that'd be the Hammond girl.
Yes, Mary Hammond, my wife.
Okay. What can I do for you, Mr. Hager?
Listen, this is going to sound crazy. It is crazy. But these children...
How's that? Did you say children, Mr. Hager? What children?
I don't know. But my wife's been hearing them outside for the last couple of days, ever since we got here.
Oh, maybe families camping nearby.
No, nothing like that. I've scouted the property for a couple of miles on every side, and there's no sign of anybody. Now, these kids must be from the town. There must be a gang of them.
Oh, that's hardly likely, Mr. Hager. You're a good 10 miles from the town. Maybe what your wife's been hearing...
The wind. The trees. Yeah, that's what I thought, too, until a few minutes ago. Now, I heard them myself. I even saw one of them.
Where?
Right at my door. She knocked. And when I answered, she was standing there asking... this is ridiculous. Asking whether my wife could come out to play.
You say this happened a few minutes ago? It's past midnight.
Don't you think I know that? Why do you think I'm calling?
Now, take her easy, Mr. Hager. I just can't figure out how any child from anywhere around here would be hanging about up your way, especially this time of night.
What are you saying? That I'm hearing and seeing things, that I'm drunk or crazy?
No, sir, I'm not saying anything like that, but, well, for the life of me, I can't think of any kids from this town that would be anywhere near you.
Will you listen to me? I tell you they're out there. I hear them right now, and you keep telling me they don't exist?
Wait a minute. You say you're hearing them right now?
Yes, well, they're gone now, but I tell you, they were out there a second ago.
All right, Mr. Hager, I'll tell you what. You just try to relax, and I'll drive out there first thing in the morning and check it out, okay?
Mr. Hager?
Yes, Sergeant Doherty?
Morning. I see you've been doing some work around the place.
Sergeant.
Your wife not around?
No, she's upstairs lying down. She's not feeling too well.
Oh, sorry to hear that. I remember her real well.
Oh?
Well, I knew her when, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be, 25 now?
Yes. How did you...
I was heading up the investigation. Damnedest thing I ever saw.
Yeah, must have been pretty horrible.
That, and strange, too. We never did find the killer, or killers.
Well?
Drew a complete blank. Still don't make sense to me.
What do you mean?
Well, there wasn't a clue. Never found the murder weapon. It's probably one of them long kitchen knives.
Oh.
The weird part was nothing in the house seemed to be missing, including a fair amount of cash the Hammonds kept around.
Well, why's that surprising? Whoever the intruder was must have been discovered by the Hammonds, panicked, killed them, ran off.
Seems like. But, that don't rightly explain the stab wounds in the bodies. It was cut up something awful.
Mary couldn't help you much, I suppose.
No, child was hysterical. Well, imagine being woke up out of a sound sleep to see your own parents being murdered. Dark room and all.
Sergeant, about these children.
Oh, yeah, the children. What did she look like?
Who?
The one you saw.
Oh, I don't know. About 7 or 8, I suppose. I mean, I didn't get a good look at her. It was dark out in the porch. I just saw her in the shadows.
And?
And what?
What did she say?
I told you. Can Mary come out to play? Something like that.
Huh. That don't make much sense, does it?
I didn't say it made sense, Sergeant. I'm telling you what happened.
Okay. Take it easy. I checked around on the way up here. Couldn't have been any children within 10 miles of here last night, far as I can make out. And townspeople's kids are all tucked away and asleep at the time you claimed.
You still don't believe me. All right, forget it, Sergeant. Forget it. I'll deal with it myself.
Okay. Sorry I couldn't be more help. Anyway, my regards to your wife.
What?
I said my regards to Mary, your wife. She'll remember me. We talked quite a bit after the killings. Poor child. Awful business that was. Never could figure it out.
boy. Talk about peaceful, eh? Look at that moon. I wonder why it always looks twice as big out here. Mary, you haven't said a word all evening. Honey, where are you going?
Just out for a walk.
Oh, hang on, I'll go with you.
No. Arthur, do you mind? I'd like to go by myself.
Yes, I do mind. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea right now. Mary, I said...
Let me go. I am not a child, you know.
I didn't say you were. But until we find out about the... Why do you keep staring out there like that? You hear them, don't you? Don't you? And you want to go to them? Answer me.
Yes. And you can't stop me. Let me go.
Oh, no, you're not going. I thought so. Back. Damn them, they're back. Get into the house, Mary.
No. Let me go.
I said get into the house. Now. There.
You've no right.
Mary, listen to me. We're in danger. I don't know what it is, but none of it makes sense. But please, honey, you've got to promise me you won't step out of this house. There's you they're waiting for out there, and I won't let them have you. Do you understand?
Let me go.
All right, that's it. Get upstairs. Come on.
What are you doing? You're hurting.
I'm going to make damn sure you stay put. Now, give me that key, Mary.
What?
The key to that room upstairs, the one you kept.
It's in my purse.
No, it isn't. I've already checked. You've got it on you, haven't you?
No. Leave me alone. You're hurting me.
Then keep still. It's in one of your jean pockets. There. I thought so.
Give it back to me. You've no right. Where are you taking me?
Nowhere. The only place I can lock you in and know you'll be safe from those damn
Arthur, no. You're not in that room. Oh, please, not there. I promise. I'll do anything you want. But don't.
I don't trust you. Now get in there.
No. I'm afraid. Arthur, don't.
Get
down
there. I'm sorry, honey. But I can't think of anything else to do. Oh, Mary, please don't. I had to do this, don't you understand? Look, I'll let you out just as soon as they give up and you come to your senses. As soon as this madness ends. Doors, the windows, and get help. Oh, God, no. Not again. What do you want?
Can Mary come out and play?
Leave us alone, damn you!
Weston County Police, Sergeant
Doherty, this is Arthur Hager.
Yes, Mr. Hager. Anything wrong?
There's plenty wrong. Listen to me. You don't know what's happening here. They're back. And
Now, Mr. Hager.
Damn it, I said listen! Now get over here. And hurry.
Mr. Hager? Mr. Hager, you still there?
Oh, my God. Mary. Listen, I can't talk now. Please. No questions. Just hurry. Mary. It's me. What's wrong?
They're hurting me. Help me.
Oh, Christ. Mary? Where are you? Why are the lights off?
I'm here, Arthur. Over here.
Where's the damn light switch? Here. Mary, you were screaming. I thought...
You thought you could keep me locked up. Keep me from my friends. Well, you can't, Arthur. Not anymore.
Mary, you're upset. You don't know what you're saying. It was only for your own good.
Oh, that's what they always said. You mustn't go out anymore, Mary. You mustn't ever go out. And you can't play with the other children. Oh, that's what they always said. It's for your own good.
Mary, that was a long time ago. That's all in the past.
And now, you won't let me either. You won't let me go out to play. Well, I'll show you. Just like I showed them.
No. Mary, what are you doing? Where did you get that?
There wasn't a clue. Never found the murder weapon. Probably one of them long kitchen knives.
That knife. It was you. You killed your parents. Oh, Mary, how could you?
It was easy. I tricked him. Just like I tricked you into coming in here, Arthur.
No.
See? I'm a lot smarter than you think.
No, don't, Mary, please. Put that knife down. You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, yes, I do. It's easy, see? All I have to do is this. And this. And this. See, Arthur? I told you should have let me go. Just like I told Mommy and Daddy. Well, now none of you can stop me. Too bad for you. Too bad for you.
It's intermission time at the Baba Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Everything you suspect about UFOs is true. A renegade group intends to exterminate your race and repopulate the Earth. We need a computer expert. Will you help?
You had your instructions. Intercept and destroy.
Starship Invasion. Tonight at 7 on Channel 9.
I never should have come here. I never should have come to this strange place. Now I've got to hurry and get this bag packed. I've got to get away as soon as I can. I've got to get... What do you want?
We thought we'd bring you another bottle of champagne.
If I'd wanted room service, I'd have called.
It's with the compliments of the house.
You get out of here, all three of you. Now leave me alone.
Now that's gratitude. It's going to be a cold night, miss. And I brought a blanket to keep you warm.
Get out of here, all of you. Get out.
No, miss, is that a nice way to act?
You're the one who said you'd help me. Where's my cab?
I'm sorry, but I couldn't find a cab.
You never went after one. You're lying. You're all lying. Now get out of here.
Theater 5 presents Echo of Madness.
She's here. Her taxi just pulled up in front.
Now, Kate, you know what to do.
Yes.
I'll make like a bellhop and help her with her bag.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. Too horrible.
It can't be too horrible. Oh, just a moment, miss. I'll take that bag for you.
Thank you. Do you have a vacant room?
Yes, certainly. How long will you be staying?
Well, just overnight, I think.
Will you sign the register, please?
Yes, of course. There you are.
Thank you. Judith Morgan, New York City. Joe?
Yes?
Show Miss Morgan to room 6.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Do you have a Mr. Bruce Mansfield registered?
He hasn't arrived yet, Miss Morgan, but we're expecting him.
I see. Well, when Mr. Mansfield does arrive, will you let him know I'm here? It's important.
Certainly.
Thank you.
This way, miss. Just follow me.
Well?
Well, what?
I'd say everything's working just as we planned. Wouldn't you, Mr. Mansfield?
Here we are, miss. Room 6. There. Something wrong, miss?
Well, I don't much care for this room. I think I'd like another.
I'm afraid there isn't another available, miss.
Oh, I see.
I guess it isn't the best we have, but it's the best we can do. You don't have to worry about the noise. That quiets down for the night exactly at 10 minutes to 10.
Noise? I don't hear any noise.
You will. You see, miss, when the trains go by...
Trains?
Yes. You see, the hotel's close to the railroad. In fact, you can see the tracks from the window there. It's the main line to Chicago.
Chicago?
Something wrong, miss?
No.
Oh. But the way you looked when I said Chicago...
No, it's nothing. Do you have to keep asking if something's wrong?
Oh, no. Sorry, miss. I only wanted to be helpful.
Yes, I'm sorry, of course.
That'll be the 6:30 for Houston. The noise won't quiet down till the Chicago mainliner goes through at 9:50. There isn't another train after that till 7 in the morning.
Well, I guess I can be thankful for that.
Another thing you can be thankful for, that you weren't here 3 weeks ago.
Oh, why?
The accident, miss. Must have read about it.
No, I didn't. What happened?
The mainliner. Wrecked. Yeah, wrecked. Happened right out there, right outside this window. Oh, it was a terrible sight, miss. The mainliner was doing all of 90 miles an hour when it plowed right into a freight that had come to a stop right out there. It was awful. People screaming, pain, begging for help, locked in those trains.
Please, must you? I just can't bear to hear about things like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. Well, if you want anything, just ring.
Yes, thank you. I was a fool to come. Something about this place. Come in.
I brought you some towels, miss. I'll put them in the bathroom. Oh, if you'd like something to eat, miss, I'm sure I can arrange something.
Well, thank you. If I get hungry, I'll go down to the dining room.
Oh, the dining room isn't open. This is our slack season, you see. You're the only one staying here. Except, of course, for Mr. Mansfield when he arrives.
But the bellhop said this was the only room available.
Oh, well, what he meant was we have no other room in readiness. The beds are unmade, the dust covers on the furniture, and like that.
Mr. Mansfield hasn't arrived yet?
No, not yet.
What is Mr. Mansfield like, do you know?
I wouldn't know. I've never met him.
Oh.
Haven't you?
No, I haven't.
I see.
Well, I don't think you do if you're thinking...
Excuse me, miss. Your private affairs are your own, not the hotel's. Good night.
Why did I come here? Why did I answer that letter? Why? Why? Just a minute. Oh.
Did I startle you?
You're Bruce Mansfield?
Who did you think I was?
Well, I didn't know.
But now you do know. The name, the face, you've put them together, and now you know?
What do you want?
What is it I want? Isn't it something you want, Miss Morgan?
No.
Then why did you come here and answer to my letter?
Well, you said that I would find it to my interest.
Find what to your interest?
I don't know. Look, I'm getting out of here. I never should have come. I was a fool to answer a letter from a stranger.
But we're not strangers. We're friends, very old friends. Only it appears you don't care to recognize that fact. There's something about me that frightens you, isn't there? Isn't there?
Yes.
Then you do know. You must know who I am.
No, I don't, I tell you. I don't. Oh, I shouldn't have come here. I don't know why I did. There was something about this place I didn't like the minute I entered it. And there's something about you I don't like.
You may change your mind before the evening's over.
For your information, the evening is over. I'm leaving here.
Oh, I forgot to leave you some soap. Were you going somewhere, Miss Morgan?
She wants to leave, and just when I was on the verge of inviting her to dinner.
Oh, what a pity. We served such an excellent dinner here, too.
You said the dining room was closed.
Oh, well, we can always open it for an old friend and customer like Mr. Mansfield.
But I thought you told me you'd never seen him before.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
But you did. I remember. I think I remember you saying
No, dear, you're mistaken. And you're making another mistake in wanting to leave.
No, I'm not.
Yes. You stay and have a nice dinner with Mr. Mansfield. I'll see to it the chef goes out of his way to make it a dinner you'll remember.
I'll even treat you to a bottle of champagne. Well, what's the matter?
I don't like champagne.
Well, you don't have to look so horrified about it. We'll have some anyway. Perhaps you'll change your mind.
I won't, and I'm not changing my mind about leaving here either.
No, my dear.
Get out of my way.
You must stay. You really must, Miss Morgan. And you will, if you know what's best for you.
Will this table be all right, Mr. Mansfield?
Well, it seems fine to me, but I'll ask the lady. Does this table suit you, Miss Morgan?
Where are the others? Oh, that's right. They said the dining room was closed. The whole place is like a morgue.
Well, could you turn the lights down a little, please?
Oh, yes, sir. And I'll light the candles, too.
Thank you.
If you want me, sir, just call.
There, now, isn't that better? You love candlelight, remember?
Well, yes, I do, but...
And your favorite flowers. White heather and yellow roses.
Yes, they're lovely. But I don't understand...
The dining room, Miss Morgan. Is it familiar to you now?
Why should it be?
Well, now, look, the wallpaper. Do you remember the quaint, old-fashioned flowered wallpaper?
Well, I love old-fashioned things, but... What are you trying to do to me? I never saw it before.
You don't remember ever having been in this room before?
No, of course not.
You have no recollection of sitting at this table?
No, because I've never been here in my life.
Can't you remember how the candlelight glittered on your hair and danced in your eyes? No, that wouldn't be for you to remember. That would be my memory.
You're insane.
You don't remember having dinner with me here? You can't recall that?
No.
Well, how convenient for you, Miss Morgan. How very
I
convenient.
don't know what you mean.
Would it help you to remember if I said that I'll never forget?
The only thing that would help me would be to get out of here.
Why? Why won't you remember?
I don't remember because it never happened.
But you know it did, Miss Morgan. It was a night I shall never forget, certainly. And why have you? Or have you, Miss Morgan?
Look, I've had enough of this. Enough of your obscure remarks and your mysterious innuendos. I demand to know why you wrote me that letter. I demand to know why you refuse to believe anything I say. I demand...
Don't.
What?
Don't demand. Not of me, Miss Morgan. Joe.
Yes, Mr. Mansfield, what can I do for you, sir?
The champagne, please.
Yes, at once, sir.
I won't drink it.
Why not?
I told you I don't like champagne.
Oh, now, everybody likes champagne. And this is the best.
No.
Yes. Only the best. This is it's a special occasion.
What do you mean?
You'll find out.
I will not sit here.
Now, sit down. You know by now you can't leave unless I let you. And I'm not going to let you. So you might as well take things easy. Or as easy as it'll be possible for you to take them. And I seriously urge you to drink the champagne. It isn't poisoned and it isn't drugged. What's more, it'll help you face what's coming.
What do you mean, what's coming? What are you going to do to me? What's going to happen?
Here's the champagne, Mr. Mansfield.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Joe.
Shall I pour, sir?
Yes, would you please?
Enjoy your dinner, sir. You and the lady.
He thinks we're friends.
Does he?
Well, it's obvious.
I didn't notice. Well, champagne, my dear.
No.
Take the glass.
No.
I said take it. Now drink it.
No.
Drink it, I tell you.
Oh! Mr. Mansfield, sir. Mr. Mansfield, your cheek, it's bleeding.
Miss Morgan just threw her glass at me.
You shouldn't have insisted.
Joe, have you any iodine?
In the kitchen, sir.
No, that's all right. Quicker if I go up there. Please, keep the lady company.
Yes, sir.
Please, you've got to help me.
But I can't.
I'll make it worth your while. I have money, lots of money. I'll pay you anything. Anything to help me get out of here.
Well, I'm afraid I don't see what
Listen to me, listen. Go out and find me a cab.
Oh, look,
just do as I tell you and you'll be well paid. I'll go to my room and get my bag. All my money's in it. You get that cab and have it waiting around the corner, and I'll meet you there. And I'll pay you well, very well. Do you understand?
Yes.
Well, then go on. Go on.
Are you all right, Mr. Mansfield?
Yes. Yes, I'm all right.
It's not a bad cut. The bleeding has stopped. He can take better care of it later.
Yeah.
Good. Now we have our work cut out for us.
But what are you doing out here? Why aren't you in there with her?
It's all right. She thinks I'm getting her a taxi cab.
She's really determined to leave, isn't she?
Yes.
Where is she now? What is she doing?
She's gone to her room for her bag. I don't know how long she'll wait while I'm supposed to be getting her a taxi cab.
Now, look, it's almost 10 to 10. We've got to work fast.
Yes, we do, or the whole thing is going to boomerang.
Well, we all know what we've got to do. Just a question of all of us doing our parts. I mean all of us.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've done my best, haven't I?
Yes, so far. But the worst part is still to come.
Why does it have to be this way? I keep hoping something else will happen.
It's really too late to think about other ways now.
I don't have any other ideas, but isn't there... Are you sure this is the only way?
Can you think of any other way, Mr. Mansfield?
No, of course I can't. I just wish that we could stop short
of... we can't. Now, let's make sure everything is ready.
I've got the blanket. Now, this is the right kind, isn't it, Mr. Mansfield?
Yes, that's the right kind.
I'll get another bottle of champagne. It may help.
Did you manage to get her to take even a sip of the champagne before?
No, I didn't. Not a taste of it. Do you think she's suspicious?
Of course she's suspicious. But I think we can overcome that.
How important is the champagne? Do you really think it would make things easier for her?
It should help.
Well, I guess it's now or never. All right. Let's go before I lose my nerve.
Hurry and get this bag packed. Get away in that cab as fast as I can. Get away. Oh. What is this?
Why, we thought we'd bring you another bottle of champagne.
Leave me alone.
Now that's gratitude. It's going to be a cold night, and I brought this blanket to keep you warm.
Get out of here.
And
All of you, get out.
Now, is that a way to act?
You said you'd help me.
Sorry, but I couldn't find you a cab.
You never went after one. You're lying. You're all lying. Now get out of here.
Now, please don't take that attitude. Joe tries to help you, and just because he can't find a cab, you call him a liar. Miss Harwood is thoughtful enough to bring you a blanket and you insult her. I offer you champagne at dinner and you fling it in my face.
Get out of here. Get out.
What's the matter? You've gone white as a sheet.
That sound.
Only the main liner to Chicago, right on time. She'll pass here at exactly 9:50.
You're shaking, Miss Morgan. You must be cold. Here, put this blanket around your shoulders.
No.
But if you're chilly, you
How
should
can
have...
she be chilly when she's perspiring? Her forehead beaded with sweat.
I tell you, she's cold. Now,
Will
here,
you
my
all
dear.
please get out of here and leave me alone.
Not until you've had this glass of champagne. You wouldn't have at dinner.
I told you I don't want it. I won't drink it.
And I told you that you will. You're going to drink the champagne. You're going to drink a toast.
And I'm going to insist you put this blanket, this army blanket, around your shoulders.
Get away from me.
Now,
Get away from me. Please, why are you doing this?
Doing what? All I want you to do is drink a glass of champagne.
And all I want you to do is put this army blanket around your shoulders to keep you warm.
And you mustn't look so afraid when you hear that noise. I told you, it's only the Chicago
I'm
main
not
line.
afraid.
You are. And you know why you're afraid. You're afraid because you know what's going to happen.
Maybe that's why you're trembling. Not because you're cold, but because you're afraid.
The champagne will help. Here, drink this.
And put the blanket around your shoulders.
No.
Drink
No.
the champagne.
Blanket around you, the army blanket.
Oh,
No.
the diesel horn.
No.
Chicago main line.
Champagne.
The blanket.
Main line.
No. Got it. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. No! Oh, those poor people. All those people. And the screams. All those screaming people. Bruce.
Yes, dear.
Bruce, we've got to help them.
Of course, darling. Of course we'll help.
Who are you?
Tell me your name. Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm Judy Mansfield. This is my husband, Bruce.
Oh, thank heaven.
Why do you ask such a silly question at a time like this? There's just been a terrible accident out there.
No, dear. There was a frightful accident. 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
The Chicago mainliner crashed into a freight train.
On the night we were beginning our honeymoon, darling, in this room.
Honeymoon. Here?
We were driving to Chicago. Our car broke down. We had to stay here overnight.
3 weeks ago. Bruce?
It was a terrible shock to you, Judy. So terrible you blotted it out of your mind and everything else with it.
You became the victim of a sudden amnesia, Mrs. Mansfield.
I had you moved to Rockview Hospital, but there was nothing they could do for you. Finally, in desperation, I got hold of the best psychiatrist I could find in New York. He's this gentleman, Dr. Joseph Carroll.
You're a doctor.
Yes, my dear. I knew one possible answer to your problem might be to make you relive that night. Just before the accident, you and your husband had drunk a toast to your marriage in champagne.
You see, it had been cold in the room. And Mr. Mansfield had got this army blanket from your car and put it around you.
And by the way, sweetheart, this is Miss Harwood, Dr. Carroll's nurse.
And I can't tell you how glad I am the doctor's plan worked, Mrs. Mansfield.
If it hadn't been for him and the cooperation of the people who own this hotel, you'd still be a victim of amnesia.
Why, I remember everything now. Oh, thank heaven it's over and done with.
But it isn't. One part is just to begin.
What?
Our honeymoon, darling. Our honeymoon.
Oh, Bruce.
Theater 5 has presented Echo of Madness, written by George Lowther and directed by Warren Somerville. In the cast, Elspeth Eric, Mary Jane Higbee, James Monks, and Ivor Francis. Audio engineer Neil Pultz. Sound technician M.C. Brock. Script editor Jack C. Wilson. Original music by Alexander Vlastotsenko. Orchestra under the direction of Glenn Osser. Executive producer for Theater 5, Edward A. Byron. We invite your comments. Write to Theater 5, New York 23, New York. This is Fred Foy speaking. This has been an ABC Radio Network production.
This episode of the Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by Waddle's Tunes over at Channel Watchwaddle. Oh, that's where I left that bar of soap.
Hands are dirty, don't be a dope. Clean them up with bubbly soap.
Now that's some clean humor.
What a sweetheart! The Pontiac! What a beauty! The new Pontiac. What a gas!
Break away in white track in Pontiac.
Don't get left behind. See your Pontiac dealer and break away.
The Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Peter Lawford in tonight's presentation of
Suspense. Tonight, Autolite presents a classic study of suspense, a new dramatization of one of the most terrifying stories ever written. Wilkie Collins' A Terribly Strange Bed. Our star, Mr. Peter Lawford.
Harlow, what is so wonderful as a day in June?
Why, world-famous Autolite spark plugs, of course, Hap.
What?
I said world-famous Autolite spark plugs are tops, Hap, because they're ignition-engineered, designed and built by ignition experts to give the best performance money can buy. That's why Autolite spark plugs are specified as original equipment on many leading makes of our finest cars, trucks, and tractors.
But what do spark plugs have to do with June?
Why, Hap, June is the perfect time to get your car tuned up, to get the spark plugs checked for summer driving. So, friends, see your Autolite spark plug dealer soon. He's a specialist on spark plug cleaning and adjustment for all makes of cars. And if replacements are needed, he will install ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, either resistor or standard type, best suited to your car and your style of driving. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents Mr. Peter Lawford in Wilkie Collins' story, A Terribly Strange Bed, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
Shortly after my education at college was finished, I happened to be staying in Paris with an English friend. We were both young men and lived, I'm afraid, rather a wild life in the city of our sojourn, and thus had probed the various refined pleasures suitable to our class, and searched for others less elegant. Searched for them in the neighborhood of the Palais Royal, which lies covertly against the dark river Seine. And from each closed doorway, the small echoings of small promises.
That one, Henry. That doorway there.
Oh, you're drunk, Gerald.
Pleasantly, exquisitely, modestly, delicately am I drunk. And therefore...
Therefore what, Gerald?
The doorway I have suggested and the word Frascati painted on it. Noble word, noble mysteries.
I've been there.
Oh, sly and traitorous friend. You have been there. And alone, slyly and without me.
And it has a ghastly kind of respectability. 5 franc respectability, and it would not amuse me. Come along, Gerald.
Come along, Gerald. That's it, Gerald. You're coming along very nicely.
What I want, Gerald...
Oh, what you want, Henry. Want and you shall find. Want and you shall find.
What I want is somewhere where we can see a little genuine blackguard, poverty-stricken gaming, with no false gingerbread glitter thrown all over it.
No gingerbread for my friend. Thank you, friend.
A place not fashionable, not respectable. A place of evil, perhaps. And of emotions I've never known. Oh, Gerald, come along.
Gerald will not come along. Gerald is content here.
Look, listen to me.
Gerald is content here to lean his weariness and his search against this doorway. Against...
Gerald! The door had flung open behind him, and Gerald had fallen flat on his back. And for a while laughed, then with my help got up. And Gerald laughed no longer. For the room, the gaming room, was tragedy. Mute, weird tragedy. And the quiet in the room, horrible. And the people of the room, a thin, haggard, long-haired young man whose sunken eyes fiercely watched the turning up of the cards and never spoke. The flabby, fat-faced, perspiring player who registered on a pasteboard how often black won and how often red and never spoke. The dirty, wrinkled old man with the vulture eyes and the darn greatcoat who had lost his last sou and still looked on desperately and never spoke. The voice of the croupier.
Red and black. Make your bet. Red and black.
The voice of the croupier, dull and thick in the atmosphere of the room. We had entered on a laugh, but the spectacle before us was something to weep over. I'd found it. The pleasure I searched. I'd found it.
Henry.
Yeah?
Your eyes. The look in them.
Yes?
It's what you wanted, isn't it? The place of evil and of emotions you would never...
I want to play.
Of course you do.
Come then.
Red and black, make your bets. Red and black, your bets. Red and black, your bets.
1,000 francs on black.
Black wins.
Leave it. All of it black.
Henry.
Shh, wait.
Black wins.
Leave it. All of it black.
Henry.
Yes.
This is a passion for you.
No, not a passion. Idle amusement. Yes, only amusement. Wait.
Black.
All of it. All of it red. This time red.
Oh, not passion, then. Intoxication, perhaps.
Yes, intoxication. As I have never known it, intoxication. Yes.
Which has become. Red wins.
All of it red. And 10,000 more.
Oh, which has become passion.
Which has become passion.
Red wins.
Now, the black croupier.
Black.
Oh, permit me, sir. Permit me to restore to their proper place the 2 coins which were dropped. There, in their proper place. 1,000 francs.
A tall man, and quite fat, pinched into a frogged and braided surtout. A man of goggling, bloodshot eyes, mangy moustaches, and a broken nose. And the dirtiest pair of hands I ever saw. Yet in the mad excitement, his look, his hands, held no repelling influence on me. For now, in the mad excitement, in the reckless triumph, I was ready to accept even such as he.
What wonderful luck is yours, sir. I pledge you my word of honor as an old soldier. In the course of my long experience in this sort of thing, never but never have I seen such luck as yours.
Thank you.
Go on, sir. Boldly, handsomely, break the bank.
I assure you, sir, I have every intention.
Do it then, sir. Go on, break the bank. My gallant English comrade, boldly, break the bank.
All of it. Black. And I did go on. Went on at such a rate that in an hour...
Gentlemen, the bank has discontinued for tonight.
In an hour of a kind of ecstasy I'd never known. All the notes and all the gold in the bank now lay in a heap under my hands. The whole floating capital of the gambling house under my hands, waiting to pour into my pockets.
No.
No?
No? No, not in your pockets, sir. For no breeches pockets, whatever sold, could hold such heavy winnings.
Well, then how...
May I take your pocket handkerchief, sir? Thank you. Tie it up, sir. Tie it up in your handkerchief, as we used to tie up a bit of dinner in the army. Shovel it in. Now then, sir. 2 tight double knots each way, with your permission. And the money's safe.
Thank you.
Feel it, sir. Hard and round as a cannonball. Feel it. Champagne, sir. I will buy you champagne.
No, thank you.
Well, for your friend, then.
For Henry's friend, then.
Amiable, gracious Englishman. Champagne! Champagne for the friend of the conqueror of the bank, and for me. Come, sirs, to my table. I am Fabian Nero, gallant sir. And you?
Henry Calder. And this is my friend, Gerald Titchener.
Henry, Gerald, Fabian. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Henry, Gerald.
Thank you.
Henry and Gerald.
Fabian. We are friends, aren't we?
To have touched your sleeves, to have you seated here beside me. This old soldier's heart will burst. My eyes will weep. My hands will... the champagne. A toast, gentlemen. A toast to...
Not for me, please.
Oh, of course not for you. Gerald and I, then.
You and Gerald, Fabian.
A toast to the goddess Fortune, who embraced tonight our Henry, and smiled secretly upon him, and nestled very close. The goddess Fortune, gentlemen. An English cheer. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah!
Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah! Fabian, quickly enough.
Gerald, you were tipsy before. Now you'll...
Henry, not to permit the golden blood of France to flow through the veins of this vivacious Englishman. And Gerald, your friend. Oh, shame, Henry, shame. Drink, Gerald.
Toast to France. To the present company. To the croupier.
And the croupier's wife.
And the croupier's daughter. The croupier's daughters. And to ladies elsewhere. And to ladies...
I should like coffee, Fabian.
Coffee?
Coffee. For me and for Gerald. For our intoxication...
Well, coffee it shall be. Coffee. Coffee for the darling of Fortune. Coffee.
The word pronounced by Fabian Nero seemed to have a magical effect on the company present. They suddenly had lost interest and all rose to depart. Probably they had expected to profit by my intoxication, by the proffering of champagne. But finding I would have none of it, had now abandoned all hope of thriving pleasantly on my winnings. Whatever their motive might be, at any rate they went away in a body. And the silence of before was now deeper than ever. Then, from a sort of vestibule at the far corner of the room, a woman appeared, bearing a tray of coffee and glasses, and walked towards us, enveloped in silence. Woman of emaciated face and burning bright eyes and wisps of colorless hair drifting across her rouged cheeks.
Your coffee, sir.
Thank you.
You will find it strong and good.
Thank you.
Strong and good, handsome sir. Here you are, sir.
Thank you. For I am parched with thirst. And it was kind of you and of Fabian and gracious and generous.
How wise you are, Henry, to drink this coffee of Millie's. The coffee of Millie Prudhomme.
Millie Prudhomme.
Divine Millie. Beautiful Millie Prudhomme.
Oh, handsome sir. Will you have coffee?
No. Champagne, Millie. To drink your beauty.
How wiser than your friend, Gerald, to drink coffee and rid yourself of your little amiable exaltation of spirits before you think of going home. And you must, my good and gracious friend, for with all that money...
Good and gracious friend.
With all that money to take home tonight, it is a sacred duty to yourself to have your wits about you. Drink, Henry. Drink your coffee. You are known to be a winner to an enormous extent by several gentlemen present tonight who are but mortal men, sir, and have their own amiable weaknesses. Drink, Henry. Who'd surely rob and murder if you were to...
Wait.
Oh, you're still?
I'm ill. I'm very...
What?
He is ill. Very ill. I will weep.
Henry is ill and I'm drunk. Millie will sob. Will you sob, Millie?
ill. A fit of giddiness. The room whirls round and round. Furiously.
Henry!
Your voice deafens me. Furiously!
Oh, my dear friend, my dear friend. Madness to go home in your state. You would be robbed, murdered. You need a walking and then a sleep, and not a murdering.
A walking and then sleep, and in a safe place, Henry.
Yes, walk. Sleep.
In a safe place. The place of Millie Prudhomme. A rooming house above the game room. And the capital beds of Millie's rooming house.
I don't...
Madness to go to your own home. Sleep at Millie Prudhomme's. And tomorrow...
Go home safely with your winnings. Tomorrow, in full flow of life. And in broad daylight. Tomorrow.
Gerald.
Fabian's right, Henry. If anyone needs sleep, you surely need.
Come then. Quickly.
Come then, quickly. I will help you. Put your arm about me. That's the dear boy.
Millie? Millie.
Yes, Gerald. Come.
Here, Henry, here. The choicest room of Millie Prudhomme. The capital bed there, and the tasteful furnishing, and the deep sleep to be had, and the safe one. Till tomorrow, Henry.
I don't know how to thank you.
You have thanked me enough already with the exaltation of your splendid company. And that I could have been of some small service to your small malady. Oh, Millie.
Well, let me go, Gerald. Oh, handsome sir.
Go, come, Millie. Henry wants his sleep.
Oh, divine, Millie. Divine. Oh, Henry, sit. Oh, Henry. Millie Prudhomme, she...
Gerald passed into his particular oblivion in the middle of a sentence. I walked over and locked the door. Then I took my money, my winnings wrapped in a handkerchief, and placed beneath the pillow of my bed. I lay down. My senses still swam, and I looked up at the heavily brocaded canopy, and it seemed to move. Somehow to move. And for an instant I thought, this was a terribly strange bed.
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Peter Lawford in Wilkie Collins' A Terribly Strange Bed. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Well, Harlow, vacation time's nearly here.
Yes, Hap, but not for spark plugs. They're the very heart of your car's ignition system. And if they're not right, the chances are you won't get smooth and efficient engine operation during summer's hot and heavy driving.
That's why now is the time to check them, eh, Harlow?
Yes, Hap. And when replacements are needed, wise drivers insist on ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, like the famous Autolite resistor spark plug. That's the amazing double-life spark plug that gives top performance for twice as long as ordinary spark plugs.
And the Autolite resistor is only one of a complete line of Autolite spark plugs designed for every use. Right, Harlow?
Right, Hap. So, friends, see your Autolite spark plug dealer tomorrow for a spark plug checkup. And if you need replacements, take nothing less than ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, either standard or resistor type. You'll be glad you did, because from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Peter Lawford in Elliot Lewis's production of A Terribly Strange Bed, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I could not sleep. Restlessness took me over, and I got out of bed. There was the dim, quiet flicker of a single candle, and next to it a washstand. I plunged my face into the water. There was a single chair, and I sat down and tried to compose myself. Slowly, the giddiness left me. A shutter. And a window. Shutter attached by a single hinge and flapping against the side of the house. And no lock on the window. No way of locking the window.
Henry?
Gerald, are you up?
Where?
In a room. Over the gaming place. It's all right. I've locked the door. But the window, it's...
Window. And there's a window.
Listen. Did you hear? I was wide awake, and every one of my senses seemed to be preternaturally sharpened. Piano and a song I had never heard, and then behind it, the laughter. Wide awake, yet somehow the effects of whatever drug I had drunk seemed suddenly to arise again, and for an instant toy with my perception, so that I reached for the wall to steady myself lest I fall down. Leaned against the wall for support.
The jolliest evening, children, and the youth from England. Oh, dear Millie, dear Millie, dear Millie.
So it is. And Fabian, the youth and his friend, and the handkerchief now.
He's such a dear boy.
Yes.
He's such a dear boy.
Yes.
He's such a dear boy. He's such a dear boy. He's such a dear boy.
The moment their voices wavered and fled, a kind of melancholy seized me. I walked over to the window and looked out. Looked out upon blackness, a swarm of blackness. No shapes definable could be made out through the gloom, except a lighter grayness of a sort, as if an abutment of some kind, I supposed. Directly across the window and somewhat below it, but how far across and to what length below I could not determine. For all purposes then, I knew only that we were above the street level in some 3 stories, and having felt the walls directly adjacent the window, I found them to be sheer. No one could enter there. I walked over to the bed and took a pillow and placed it beneath Gerald's head. The bed again, and I lay down. This bed that now I was lying upon, I must again describe to you. A 4-post bed with a regular top lined with chintz. The regular fringed valance all around. It was ridiculous now that I tried to sleep. I couldn't even close my eyes. I resolved then to beguile the tedium of my wakefulness by making inventory of every article of furniture I could see. Window, washstand, chest, chair, dressing table, picture. Upon the wall opposite the bed, a picture. A fellow in a high Spanish hat crowned with a plume of towering feathers. A swarthy, sinister ruffian, looking upward, it might be, at some tall gallows on which he was going to be hanged. Such was the picture. Another chair, candlestick, picture. It seemed to be moving. The hat had been pulled over the eyes, and there, the hat itself was gone. The hat was gone. The plumes, Was the bed moving? No. No, it was a brief and terrible dream. How could the top of a bed move? A brief and terrible dream. Trick of the eye and the mind's going down for a moment into sleep. Yet I let my mind say it. The top of the bed had moved. Gerald. Gerald, wake up.
Huh?
Open your eyes.
Now what?
Shh, quietly. Keep your voice in a quiet tone.
Why? What?
Shh, listen. Above you. Directly above you. Look, there's a picture. Do you see it?
Yes.
A minute ago, the man was wearing a hat. He was wearing a hat. Now he is not.
Oh, my friend, you're very drunk. I'm very proud of you. You
fool. Listen to me.
All right, Henry.
Where there was a hat is now a peephole, and we are being watched.
All right, Henry.
Now stay where you are, but be alert.
All right, Henry. Henry.
Yes?
What are you going to do?
Make sure of a thing.
What thing?
The bed.
What?
Keep your eye on the canopy. I'm going to lie in the bed now, Gerald, and make sure that they're not trying to murder us.
How?
By feigning sleep.
What?
By feigning sleep, Gerald. Just that. Now, quiet.
Yes.
Now, I am constitutionally anything but timid. I have been on more than one occasion in peril of my life, and I have not lost my self-possession for an instant. But when the conviction settled on my mind that the bed top was actually moving, it loosed a feeling within me, foreign, laced through with terror. So I lay there, motionless, speechless, breathless. The candle spent went out, but the moonlight still brightened the room. I lay there. It descended. The whole canopy came down. Close down.
Henry.
I lay there.
Henry.
Literally spellbound by what was happening.
Out of bed.
But once I could not tell whether reality was here or my imagination was taking hold.
Quickly, before they...
Closer. Closer.
Henry.
Gerald's voice shattered this warm sea of fascination that bound me, and I leapt from the bed.
Look, Henry.
Yes.
There, the middle of the bed top. The huge wooden screw.
Like a press. To smother me and relieve me of my winnings and then kill you.
Doctor! Mr. Carter, open! Unlock the door. Open!
The light of the morning, Gerald, and look. It comes up and through the window, across the narrow shaft. Another building. We can leap it.
Not high.
What?
No, not high. My legs are still unsteady. If I should stand up on that sill, I'd fall into space.
Then wait.
And hurry.
Yes.
Hurry! Hurry!
The rest of my story is soon told. From the building next door, I reached the ground and sought police. With them, I returned. And Mr. Fabian was seized, as was Mrs. Proudhon. The police congratulated me on my good fortune and Gerald's on his, and told us that they would probably never know how many people had been smothered in this diabolical bed. So tightly was the canopy pressed to the bed that I could not retrieve my money. The mechanism had to be released from the room above. The police bade us go, and finding ourselves walking homeward, Gerald said to me,
I know a place where gambling is carried on at such a fever pitch that you'll be carried to the heights of excitement.
Needless to imagine, I refused to go along with Gerald. My adventure cured me of ever again trying rouge et noir as an amusement. The sight of a green cloth with packs of cards and heaps of money on it will henceforth be associated in my mind with the sight of a bed canopy descending to suffocate me in the silence and the darkness of the night.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Peter Lawford.
Here are the results of the great $100,000 Autolite Family Charity Drawing. Over 5,200,000 entries were received for this event. Last week, the final drawing was held in New York under the supervision of a distinguished committee. Here are the names in the order of their selection. $50,000 will be distributed to the charity or charities designated by Desi L. Irish of Vallejo, California. $20,000 will go to the charity or charities designated by Lucille Foisey of Miami, Florida. $5,000 to the charity designated by Vincent W. Sisler of Howe, Indiana. $3,000 to the charity designated by Stuart Smith of Ogdensburg, New York. And $2,000 to the charity designated by L.G. Bridgewater of Kennewick, Washington. These people and 20 others who will each designate $1,000 to their favorite charities have all been notified. And now this is Harlow Wilcox wishing you a summer of safe driving with the reminder that wherever you travel, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
Next Tuesday night, June 15th, we will continue with a new series of suspense programs. At that time and through the summer, we hope that you will join us and that we will be able each Tuesday night to keep you in suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by Elliott Lewis, with music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. A Terribly Strange Bed was adapted for suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin, from the story by Wilkie Collins. In tonight's story, Ben Wright was heard as Gerald, Paula Winslow as Mildred, Joseph Kearns as Fabian, and Vic Perrin as the croupier.
Peter Lawford may currently be seen co-starring in the Columbia picture It Should Happen to You.
And remember, suspense continues on Tuesday nights beginning next week, at which time we will present The Earth is Made of Glass.
You can buy Autolite standard or resistor-type spark plugs, Autolite Stay Full batteries, and Autolite original service parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
This is the CBS Radio Network.